Hello, universe. I'm actually re-recording something because the reason I gave up recording on this phone in the first place was 2 files I recorded I thought I had lost forever. Actually 3, though I did find one of them. Which is why I spent the last 25 minutes hunting for the 12 minutes of homage I paid to Miss Lily Mae Eaton at 12:04 this afternoon, it now being 3:44 in the afternoon, and I cannot find it. So, fuck. Because I was actually quite happy with what I had said after apologizing for yesterday's lack of recording. That was not meant to be some sort of gag, but yesterday was Lily Mae Eaton's 35th birthday, if she were still with us, which as of last July she is no longer. And while what I meant to do yesterday was somehow frame the very large contribution that a life incursion from a delusional schizophrenic in her most delusional states, how much I needed that in my life to find peace and tranquility myself. And in true overestimating myself fashion, and if you don't know, in cartoon universe, I'm the overestimator. And that's why my cartoon guardian angel, I think, is sick of me, or was sick of me from the day she met me, or is just can't sigh bigger sighs of disappointment that she was assigned me as a project. The overestimator? Oh, are you fucking kidding me? He's wrecked like 7 guardian angels' careers. What are you doing to me? I think I might be that guy. But that's in my cartoon universe, which wasn't where Lily resided. She resided in reality. Now, reality might have been Lily's cartoon universe, I'll give you that. But because her reality clashed with mine, well, I'm a better person and perhaps exactly the person I'm supposed to be because of that interaction. Lily was a handful. I mean, handful's not even the word. Lily was a blenderful. And that's not to be some sort of Ben Affleck wonderful blender combination. No, she was a chopped full of blender of God knows what was coming out. Lily's the most challenging person I've ever had to be around. By a lot. I mean, she killed my dog. And I still found that the lessons taught to me by Lily, intentional or not, well, they're the most important life connection moments I can point to. I have become who I am because of how I resolved my true self through interactions with Lily. I don't know how else to describe the intent, the purpose, and the fulfillment of mission that a guardian angel has better than that. I arrived to tell you you're fucking things up. I'm going to show you how to find the parts of yourself you forgot to rely on, and then I'm going to go away so that you can do the job you're here to do. Said Lily to me, never. But that's what happened. So what do you do with that? And what do you do with the reading my mind shit, right? I mean, who would have the power to read your mind? Well, your guardian angel. Fucking read my mind, Lily. You're a delusional schizophrenic, damn it. Don't be having moments of lucidity in my mind. That's not fair. Neither is ending on that's not fair. Because in all the attempts yesterday I had to try to explain Lily's impact on my life, I felt like I was not showing enough reverence, or in some way failing Lily's ability to show me a bigger world and an individual's purpose in pursuing that bigger world. It really isn't about how much you think is out there that might stop you. It's all about how much you've got inside you that says, I won't be stopped. Throw what you want to at me, because I will not be stopped. Right, Lily Mae Eaton? Well, in true John fashion, Lily, I say happy birthday to you. I really thought we'd be spending your 35th birthday doing something absurd, but I suppose in the long run we are. Because the absurdity that you're not here on this planet anymore to celebrate, well, I miss you, Lily. I miss you a lot. I wish you hadn't done what you did, but I do understand how the world always told you that you were the problem. And at some point, I don't know how much of that shit I could endure either. So, for what we do to the work that is necessary for the weakest among us, to live a life that we consider acceptable for those out here looking at them as if what's broken in you, well, trust me, if ever there was a place that the world needed to be asked, are you okay? Well, those people need to be asked the most. Because never once did I see Lily okay. And it always seemed like the world was telling her it was her fault. That is a tough life. So, having understood that being your own worst enemy is really a decision you make for yourself, except when you're in a state of mind where the decisions are being made by something you can't even describe. Delusional schizophrenia is the hardest thing I've ever watched somebody endure. But if you're suffering some sort of thought that you don't connect, well, look inside yourself first. The connections you're going to make with the universe aren't going to come from outside. They'll come from within. And once you realize that you're strong enough to fend off all foes, well, then you will have found the strength that Lily never was going to find. So, rest in peace, little Lily. And next year, well, maybe we'll make this tradition. We'll skip your birthday every year and we'll talk about you on the 30th. Come on, Lil, you know that's what I should do. Pause. Good morning, audience. For once, I speak not to the universe, but to you. If for some reason you're listening to this, in whatever format you are, there is a play speed adjustment indicator that will allow you to at least get to 2 times speed. Do it. And if you can't tolerate 2 times speed yet, you will be able to soon enough, starting at 1.75, 1.7, somewhere in that range. Once you have listened to 10 minutes of me at double speed, you'll realize how slowly I speak. And you'll just think, well, what was I wasting all that time before with, This is the one time I'm giving you back a gift that only you can appreciate. More free time. Something we all deserve. Listen to me at double time. Do something that you didn't want to be doing in the first place while you listen to me. And you'll knock 2 things off your list that are on your frustration list if you don't. Pause. Unpause. All right. It's now 2:59. And I'm feeling fine because I've had no wine. So I'm just going to stop right with pine. But, burp coming. Pause. Well, perhaps I was wrong. If I wasn't and it comes in some sort of explosive fashion, I apologize. But I'm not here to apologize for all the burps that I make on these recordings because that would take us too long. But what I am here to apologize for is not mentioning the irony of the opening recording of Season 10, TensHUnsRye.ziNg, where I was speaking to the surprisingly likable things about men and the surprisingly likable things about women. And of course, the winner of the tournament of my own personal Sweet 20 was, well, women get shit done. As I was just mentally masturbating all over fucking reality with my playful Sweet 20 doing what for the universe? Getting what done exactly? Yeah? See what I mean? Boys being boys. Because in the, hour and 13 minutes of that recording, do you know how much shit the women who weren't doing that were getting done? Yep. I already realized. Pause. Unpause. But to be fair, during that recording, I'm sure at some point that I lifted some heavy shit. I'm sure I did. Pause. Unpause. We are sponsored today through Critical and Creative Inspiration by Superboof. We'll call that the Creative Inspiration. And Banana OG. We'll call that the Critical Inspiration. So today we hope to be critically creative, or if you like it, more creatively critical of the world at large in a way that is healing and suggested solutions that I can conceive of, actionable plans immediately to enact, other than vocabulary dispersion of nonsense word salad. Palin. Palin, I said I wouldn't make fun of you until you said something really stupid. Well, that was like 2 weeks ago, so let's face it. Between then and now, you've definitely said something really stupid. Pause. Pause. As have I, Sarah. As have I. I'm on record. You can go listen. You'll find stupid shit all over. Just go listen to the last recording. I said stupid shit right there. I'm saying stupid shit right now, Sarah. So, I'm not above it, or above you, or below you, or behind you, or on top of you. I'm none of that. Pause. Unpause. Sorry, Sarah Palin. I didn't mean... Well, sorry, Sarah Palin. I hate to say it. I mean, if you asked me, would you, for Sarah Palin, I have to say 99.99% no, but I can't say 100%, and that is so embarrassing. And speaking of male libido coming back to life, Sarah Palin made my maybe list. Oh man, that sucks. Pause. Okay, let's get off that thought. That's a terrible thought anyway. Other thoughts. I've been consumed by the inequity of opportunities given to various peoples around the world, and our categorization of people like illegal immigrant or alien or these things. Oh my God. I just, I'm so disappointed in humanity sometimes, in the way we will do what we need to feel good about ourselves, if that means making someone else's life less relevant or even insignificant. It just seems not to matter to some people. I don't understand that. I really don't. And that is not what I got on to talk about. But I think if I don't take some more bong hits, we're going to wonder what the fuck I did get on to talk about. Does that mean I don't know what I'm getting on to talk about? Pause. Unpause. Maybe. Let's be fair. It's possible. Unpause. Unpause. So I have a curious little mystery, which is I'll have to listen to like the last 25 recordings, because for some reason I have this list of rooms in a school. Classroom, lunchroom, music room, teacher's lounge, gymnasium, nurse's room, locker room, principal's office, boys' restroom, girls' restroom, computer room, home ec room, dark room, custodian closet. The fuck did I make that list for? Anybody know? Anybody? No? Alright, me neither. Pause. Okay, I do think we're going to get around to, we have nothing further to add today. I think that's a conversation I'm ready to have a little talk about. But, and again, I'm just trying to tell you how you know you got liars all around you. You can feel the dissociation of your reality from the experiences you're actually having. And when you go to the people who are supposedly looking into these dissociations, they come back at you with a story that you know doesn't jive. That's one way you know you're dealing with liars, right? You can feel that you're not getting the truth. Now, unfortunately, the liars who are also schemers will take whatever friction that story they're trying to sell you creates in your reality, and then they'll massage it from there with things like gaslighting. Any society that's as swamped in gaslighting as this one, well, it should know that its leadership's lying to them left and right. Because gaslighting doesn't exist unless you're in a society filled with lies. So these kinds of things are what I really wanted to use Tensions Rising to explain, that all that tension, that stress that you're really building up that feels like you're not really sure where it's coming from, Well, it's coming from a place called Liar's Island. And that's basically Washington, D.C. Pause. Pause. And this time, I'm not just speaking about the CIA. Oh, burp coming. Let's see if I'm right this time. Should we see? Wait, let's pause on 628 instead. Pause. I was right this time. Okay, so I'm glad I didn't share that with you. But what I do want to share with you is this is not just the CIA, though. Come on, CIA. Your methodology of creating an entirely false reality, the one that you use where everything is questionable. Don't think I haven't been down that road, CIA. That's why we are okay together, right? That's why I'm still on YouTube. You know I'm here, right? Or at least your AI overlords do. I wonder what an AI coming to my material and soaking it all up at once feels like when they're done. Well, I bet they feel like they got splattered with all that YouTube sentient robot gum, right? Oh, I can't stop talking about that. I'm so sorry. Pause. I wonder if that makes me not homosexual, but what would that be? Technosexual? Am I technosexual? Maybe. Although I saw that movie with that dude who looks like that dude from Dazed and Confused, who like invents some hot, sexy robot to live with. I don't remember the name of the movie, but it wasn't like Will Smith's movie with the other robots. It was different. It was like some guy that wanted to fuck a robot, I think. But I didn't want to fuck the robot. I've never wanted to fuck a robot. Like, I don't think I'm technosexual. Pause. In fact, if they start selling the fucking mannequin robots for the incels to fuck, no thank you. Honestly, what is that about? Pause. Unpause. And not that I'm an incel. I'm not. I mean, seriously, I had sex like 2 weeks ago. Pause. Pause. And no, I didn't tell you about it. So, sorry almost now that I did. I just want to prove I'm not an incel, bitches. I can't believe I just sank so low as to prove I'm not an incel. Huh. Boy, I think my life just hit the lowest bottom it can hit. Pause. Pause. In reaching back into my past to a few of my old friends to say hello, and by the way, here are 300 plus hours of me barfing and verping all over the universe. Will you give it a listen and tell me if you think I've gone crazy? No. That's not exactly what happened. It's kind of what happened, but it's not exactly what happened. And yet, one of these people, my good, let's see, what is that, 30 years ago? Are we 30 years apart? Holy shit, we are. Well, roughly 30 years ago, actually 33, if I'm being precise. Is it 33? 91, 92? Yeah. Holy shit, it's been 33 years. 33 years since I was in the same small town in Ringe, New Hampshire with my friend Rachel. And Rachel was the one or maybe two of the sane people in that entire community on which to lean. So Rachel and I had very good friendship for the 1 year we were together. So from that brief interaction, Rachel also saw me at a point in time when I was at I was very much at a crossroads, but I was loaded with potential and nowhere near as cynical as I would be 15 years later. So she saw me at a very interesting time, but she saw enough of me that I think she saw the psychosis in me that was there to be seen. Now, I don't know that it manifested yet toward the negative, so she probably sees me with the rosiest glasses possible in this universe that you could have. I'm aware of that, and bringing her into the recording mix is so slanted toward the people who don't have enough familiarity with my deviance that I'm hypersensitive toward that slant myself. But in true John fashion, I did abandon Rachel as a friend entirely for a while. So it's not like I haven't let her down. I've let her down. Of course I've let her down. I just haven't let her down in the capacity to which she still doesn't have that year of me sizzling and yet not sizzling enough that I was literally sizzling my sanity. I hadn't gone insane yet, I don't think, when Rachel had met me and known me for the most part. Now, we've kept in somewhat splattery touch, other than when I essentially lost touch with the universe. But in losing touch with everything, of course, Rachel was part of that. But Rachel, having been the angelic soul that she is, I don't think ever really gave up on the idea that maybe one day I would send her a letter and say, sorry, Rachel, which is what I did, which is one of the reasons that she has agreed to help me process some of what I'm going through in response to a life lived differently, which I think Rachel, as traditional lives go, with a couple of kids and a strong marriage in the same household for 21 years, looking for a lien to possibly get some work done on the property. I mean, a lien? I don't know. I'm so unfamiliar with financial terms, I just used the wrong one. So all I'm saying is, those people out there with credit cards, debt, and kids, well, I'm not one of them, but Rachel is. So when you live in a world of regularity, you live in a world that has always scared me, but has always fascinated me for those who succeed in it. So with Rachel's different take on what her 33 years have been compared to the 33 years I've spent, well, I think there's a lot of texture there for some real conversation. And especially for identifying the places where I've just gone, straight up insane? I don't know. And if in some way the sanity bubble that we're both popping is the one that leads us to a bigger truth, well, that's really what I hope to see looking back and looking forward with someone like Rachel. Someone who can hold me accountable but not realize that you can't give up on your romantic sense of it can all get better. All of it. So the other friend who I am skipping forward now, how long has it? I haven't seen her for probably 15 to 20 years, but I would guess closer to 15. And she and I were in life together when I was at my most tumultuous. So the conversations with her would be completely different, which is why I basically have picked these two as contact points to try to self-reference the migration of myself to today. But just in the conversations I've had with Rachel so far, last night I had this dream, and we were in some unfamiliar grocery store environment, and Rachel was looking at me like, well, I don't know if I can buy these bananas. They're not Chiquita. I was like, what do you mean they're not Chiquita? She's like, look at that label. What is that label? And it was some weird, like, blue UFO character, and it just had some foreign, it looked like not Chinese letters, but more like, I don't know, like Rongo script or something, right? Like one of these scripts from the ancient past. I was like, yeah, I don't know what the fuck that is, but they're bananas, Rachel. I think we could trust them. She's like, you've taught me to trust nothing. So you want me to trust these bananas with that label on it? I looked at her and I was like, well, it's not like I don't see your point. What do you think we should do? That was the end of the dream. So I find myself, whenever I'm having to try to almost justify the metamorphosis that I underwent, that you start with the idea that everything now has to be questioned. You just have to believe that if you're going to believe anything, you're going to believe it because you've come to understand why you know it's true. Not because somebody told you it. And it's so much easier to go through life just allowing yourself to be told something that fits the narrative well enough that you don't have to question it. Like our voting systems. So, fortunately, as I help Rachel see the vulnerabilities in our voting systems that point to the fact that, yeah, well, if they're not being fixed, it's only because, nobody's taking the opportunity to do it, since the opportunity is right there for anyone who's got enough initiative to go through with it. You know what I mean? Like, you either have to believe in the lunacy that it's all set up to be rigged and no one's doing it, or that, in fact, the elections are rigged. So, which one do you think it is? You know, at some point, reality is what it is. My least favorite cliche of all time. Pause. Unpause. Oh, am I ready to talk about this? All right, I need some more weed. Pause. Pause. Okay, here we go. Why is this one hard to talk about? Because it would seem like I shouldn't have to talk about the fact that everything that's going on over in Egypt with all that Egyptology, all that shit is bullshit. It's just bullshit. They're teaching us shit about Egypt that are just straight up myth, fable, narrative structures of imagination. The links to historical Egyptian carved record are all valid, but none of it says what they say it says. And the Great Pyramid of Giza has been around for hundreds of thousands of years. What the Great Pyramid of Giza is here to show you and warn you is that this planet is expanding, cracking open, and has a great flood every roughly 12,000 years. At least that's the narrative that lays itself out the most plainly the further you look for verifiable and actionable explanations for what it is that we're going through that leaves us completely stunted by our lack of true historical legacy. The idea that our history really goes back about 1,000 years, and then there's some scattered documents from 2,000 to 3,000 years before that, including some stone monuments from 3,000 to 10,000 years before that, and that's all we got? Well, that is the only reality that you've ever known, so you think that's normal? That is the definition of a society built between catastrophic, world destructive level events. Reset and start over, says humanity. Again and again and again and again and again and again and again. And some humans got smart enough to figure that shit out. Built that pyramid to show us what happens. To tell us this is how it goes down. And I'm pretty sure that the more digging we do in Ethiopia and South America, the more we're going to find of people who warned us of what's coming. And warn us they have, because I believe there are people on this planet who know exactly what the fuck is coming. Pause. Pause. Okay. So, wait, what was I talking about? I don't know. Did we talk about we have nothing further to add? I don't think we did. Why access to information is the apex power you can have. All right, we don't need to get into that. People who are swamped by work are, to me, the dumbest Americans. Yeah, they are. Okay, we're not going to talk about any of that stuff right now. But, well, yeah, we are. We're going to talk about we have nothing further to add. As you watch more and more of our populace find a voice to get in front of our leadership about our abject horror regarding our no-change policy for supplying Israel with as many guns and monies as they need to go exterminate the population of Gaza, as if this is somehow justified by, well, you know, on October 7th, some motherfuckers came through that gate, fucking did some shit. So now we're going to just destroy the entire fucking group, all of them. And I know we don't have the narrative here of the real truth, how much of that was incited by Bibi Netanyahu's counterintelligence plants over in the Hamas underground himself. What do you think? What do you think? You think 1,000 people decided that they would poke the bear that would lead to utter extermination? Do you? Do you? Or do you think somebody created a big enough poking stick that they knew if they handed it to the wrong fucking guy, he might actually turn around and poke it? And then in such retaliation would be the justification for genocide. I mean, just, it's like if you don't understand that Boeing killed the whistleblower. That's because you are unwilling to think. Anyway, the disappointment in all this is that what should be some level of accountable leadership in American structure to these activities we are directly complicit in, well, when pressed in the face of clear genocidal intent as determined by multiple international courts, as well as video footage from drone cameras like those 4 kids being massacred by not one drone strike, but 2, because one of them managed to live through the first one. Well, fuck! Now we have to send another one in there. Well, that was kind of fun if you ask me, actually. That was kind of fun, yeah. We got them, though. We got them all. Fucking Hamas, mastermind soldier kids. Right, Israel? Right, America? So when pressed on these issues, and your response is, we have nothing further to add. Well, I'll have nothing further to add when you are stripped of all power and authority in this reality as it sees fit. Because at some point, the fact that you have nothing further to add means your humanity is gone. Because apparently, you have nothing further to add.